Hello, my name is Jacob Griffith, and this is my introductory video for public speaking for my computer animation course at Fullsail University. I'll start off with a little bit about myself. I grew up in the northern portion of the Lower Peninsula in a town called Gaylord, well, outside the town. The earliest example of giving a presentation or being in front of a crowd I can remember was when I was in 4th or 5th grade in an after-school program doing a play called Puss in Boots. I was the primary introduction for the show, and things went well for the number of times. Really didn't have too much of a problem. Although I think it may have to do with the fact that I was able to almost remove the crowd from my view, even though they were right in front of me and I was looking at many of them. It's just nervousness and stuff. Being somebody who was usually on the side, not getting in the middle, not in the center of attention, I was just a little guy off to the side doing my own thing. That has kind of made it hard for me to be open in public spaces. Well, not public spaces, but in situations such as speech or being in front of a crowd having to say something to them. There were a few other times during my school years that I had done public speaking. In high school, I had done a couple of other plays, one of them being A Midsummer Night's Dream. One of my issues with public speaking is I am not always sure what I need to say. Even if I have a script in front of me, it's always harder for me to come up with what I will say next. And that has continued on since I was in school and stuff, and even in the 4.5 years I spent in the Army, for the few times that I had to actually speak in front of a crowd, it wasn't as easy. I can think that me growing up as a, shall I say, quiet one in the corner, doing his own thing, I usually wasn't that open to people. Although, when I get used to people, I do open up. Although, in most cases, such as a presentation, it is harder because a majority of the people I do not know. Most of my experience, aside from doing plays in middle school, intermediate school, and high school, has been in the Army speaking with smaller groups when it came to directing a team of people that were placed under me to get a particular job done. Usually it was go out and take care of something that needed to be cleaned up, some of the storage containers or mobile maintenance shops that were part of the maintenance unit that I was assigned to during my 4.5 years. When I was in Iraq, I also had some connections with what we called third country nationals, which in layman's terms is people who come in from smaller countries. Although I haven't mentioned it yet, I spent just under a year in Iraq, and that's where that came from. And as you can see, I do have a few issues in not being able to get everything out. And of course, I will close this out with, personally, I don't believe that we can truly get better at public speaking unless we are in front of a crowd.